confused.
Right, happy Diwali to all of you celebrating today. So many Asian footballers playing commitments often keep them away from their families, but this year it's completely different. Diwali falling during the international break. However, the coronavirus pandemic has changed the way that players and fans are going to be able to celebrate, of course. We can talk now to a Derby fan, Pav Samra, and founder of the Punjabi Rams supporters group. Pav, great to see you. Thanks so much. Good morning and happy Diwali to you as well. Obviously, you're not celebrating as you normally would due to the national lockdown. So, how are you marking the day today, Pav?
Good morning, Pete, and happy Diwali and Bandi, Chhor, Divas to you. So today, it's not a normal Diwali and Bandi, Chhor, Divas celebration. So it's just going to be time at home with my wife and my little one, and a lot of FaceTime calls, I think, looking what everybody's cooking up, the sweets people are eating, and then probably let off some fireworks this afternoon. Normally we'd have all the family together, and it'd be a time of celebration and just enjoying each other's time together and just eating some good food, but unfortunately we can't do that with everything that's going on in the world.
No, of course you can't. I'm sure you'll have a lovely time with your wife and your little one as well, as you mentioned, as best you can. But look, there's no game for Derby either this weekend due to the international break. What's been your experience of following football during Diwali over the last few years compared to now?
I think the fact there's no game for Derby is probably a blessing in disguise, so it's not going to ruin the celebrations at the moment. Diwali's a time when friends, family get together, and it's just that celebration, similar to Christmas, and you're enjoying and you're happy. And normally, if we had a match day around here, you might organise for everybody to get together for a meal, and just do something a little bit different as to the normal match day experience. So that's what we normally try to do as a supporters group, but unfortunately, this season and today it's going to be all FaceTime and Zoom calls that I think everybody's got used to over the last 6 or 7 months.
Yeah, we certainly have, haven't we? Do you think football clubs could do more to celebrate Diwali and maybe explain the significance to the wider fan base as well? Because I mean, you can see there you've formed this Punjabi Rams, which is fantastic. I mean, do you think clubs do enough?
I don't think it's just Diwali. So I mean, today obviously Hindus celebrate Diwali, Sikhs celebrate Bandi, Chhor, Divas, Tus, but you look at all the other celebrations throughout the year. I mean, you've got Muslims who have Eid as well and Ramadan. I think a lot about, and we've just come through Black History Month. I think there's a lot of education that football clubs and the football community can do. I think maybe if football clubs have other priorities, but I think education on the different religions, the supporter base is really important. I mean, as the supporters groups, like ourselves and others all across the country, I think that's what we try to do. We try to educate other supporters and say, oh look, this is our religion, or this is not, I mean, we're Punjabi, we don't align to a religion, but we say, look, here's a religion, educate people, explain what it means to break some of those taboos and just say, a lot of people say, oh, Diwali is just like Christmas, but without the presents. You get family together, you have good food, and you just celebrate being with your loved ones. So I think definitely there's room for football clubs to do more, and maybe football clubs need to engage with supporters clubs across the league who are doing great work on that.
You mentioned already jokingly that obviously it's a blessing that Derby aren't playing this weekend, so you can just focus on having a nice Diwali with your family. I mean, over Christmas we're so used to so many games, aren't we? Games come thick and fast. Would you like to see something similar during Diwali, or do you prefer to have that time away from football so you can celebrate properly?
I mean, when the fixtures come out, I look for the Forest games, and if we're at Boxing Day, so the Boxing Day fixture, those traditional Christmas fixtures, it's always something to look forward to. I think, me personally, I'd love to have a game on around Diwali, because it's the football family, so as a supporters group, the people didn't know each other when we first formed, but you've got to know each other. I mean, some of the guys I never met came to my wedding, and you really bond. It's like your football family. So I think it's really nice to meet them. I don't think my wife or loved ones would say that, because you say, oh, I'm superior to the football. So I think it would be great to have a fixture around Diwali, because you can also, it's part of that education as well. So when you meet up with other supporters who aren't from a Punjabi or a Hindu or a Sikh background, you can explain to them what you're celebrating and the significance of the weekend.
Yeah, good point. It's been great to speak to you, Pav, and I don't want to ruin your Diwali, but I want to talk to you about Derby's season so far. And they are bottom of the championship at the moment. So come on, tell us what's been going on.
You had to mention that, didn't you, Pete? You had to mention that. What do they say? The Football League is upside down. What's been going wrong? I mean, what's been going right? We haven't won a home game. We've scored 1 goal in open play. We've been relying on set pieces. You name it, since we've had it in the last sort of year and a half. This season, we can talk about the lack of goals. We've had settled formations. I think with what's going on with the ownership of the club, we've been able to buy players. We've obviously had the EFL situation last year, and there's now talk of a takeover. So that brings more uncertainty. I personally, I mean, maybe I'm deluded, and football fans, we are deluded. I'm a big fan of Koku. I think he's got a strategy, and if you want to put a strategy in place, you sometimes got to look at the medium to long term and just not panic in the short term, which football tends to do. So I think we've got to give it another 5 to 10 games, see where we're at, get the ownership decided. Is Mel Morris going to sell? Are these new investors coming in? And I think then look at where we're going to go. I think we've got the players to climb up the league. I mean, we've got Wayne Rooney. We've got some great youngsters as well coming through. Our academy's brilliant. Lee Buchanan, who made his debut for the England in the 21s. So I think you just got to have hope. Maybe it's that blind optimism of a football fan, but I think we're going to climb up that table. Okay, we're not going to hit the playoffs, but we just get to mid-table, get through the season, and when fans are hopefully back in next year, be stronger.
Okay, Pat, brilliant. Well, very good analysis there on the situation in Derby County as well at the end. But have a really happy Diwali with your family and all the sort of online Zoom calls and everything else you're going to be up to. And really thanks for joining us on Sky Sports News today.
Thank you, Pete. Have a great day.